Here's my little kitty cat who's bored. He would like to go outside, obviously. You were already out. Now, if I put you out, you'll want to come back in right away. And I'm not about to let you guys go from front to back all day long again, especially when I'm streaming. Okay, chat windows are somewhat ready to go. I just need here to clear these messages. Hopefully this works. There we go. Okay. Oh. Wish I could have somebody push the wheelchair for me, but that would be too expensive. So now it's just me and you. So apparently there's this hurricane coming towards me, towards the Atlantic Canada. I'm just on the border of Atlantic and Eastern Canada. There's the big pussycat. He's gonna jump to the window. I just know it. I just know it. There you go. If you want to jump, you can jump. It's all on you, big guy. And there he goes. Okay. Oh, just like one of those days that it's gonna rain on and off, and we'll see how the day unfolds. It's not great. I'm not looking forward to this hurricane hitting the coast and bringing rain all week long here. But also, apparently, it's gonna lose its intensity due to the fact that it's going through some colder waters, and apparently, a hurricane loses a little bit of its punch. So it might actually go from a category 4 to a category 1. So that is something to keep an eye on this week. Now, who's doing what this morning? Nothing much, really. I'm just having my daily morning coffee and talking to you folks. Yesterday I wanted a little bit on the rant. Might want to watch that show. I started off, like, okay, it's Monday. It's going to be very slow motion and casual, but then it went into something else. Today I'm going to be talking more about, okay, well, I'm 50. I'm still a casual streamer, still a casual YouTuber. And I am getting that more and more nowadays that I am too old to be gaming, to be YouTubing, to be all of these things. And strangely enough, and do keep in mind that, my body does not cooperate. I am paralyzing, so sometimes I can click the button, sometimes I can't. It affects me in very complicated games, and not so complicated games I can kind of wiggle my way around. So, I'm just thinking here about that and how things have changed, how times have changed. A lot of people are just like too old, too disconnected. I'm just toxic because I don't understand. I'm too toxic because my way of thinking is the old way. So even though, you know, not saying that pronouns are not a priority, I am saying that pronouns are not a priority compared to, let's say, other topics like energy. Today's priority and people in power are prioritizing pronouns 9 to 1 over energy. So young people want to go back living in the caves, living off of solar panels to play their video games. And to be whatever they want to be. If they want to be birds, they can be birds. They choose to be non binary, that's them too. I mean, I remember, one day I was having a discussion and telling this gamer I was gaming with that, I'm doing a review on Star Wars and I'm not liking it. I think ever since Disney bought Star Wars, initially I had great hopes, but it turns out to be a total fail. And he's like, I'm pansexual, so if you want to hang out with me, you gotta love Disney and everything they do. Like, what? What? So obviously that didn't work out. We never saw him again in the Discord to play that game. I mean, it used to be that, whatever I did in the bedroom was my business and I didn't have to constantly talk about it. And strangely enough, I think that a lot of people behind the camera are just frustrated. I mean, basically, I think that their love life, is looking at porn and having a solo thing. Meaning they're all by themselves behind the camera, behind the screen, whatever you want to call it. And they're trying to advertise their sexuality in the hopes of getting some with somebody. I get it, you know. Wasn't easy dating when I was a kid either. Well, it wasn't easy until you build up the courage and you accept that rejection may or may not happen and then you kind of there's nothing to lose. It kind of hurts when you really care and well, there's lust and there's desire and then there's other things. There's some girls I really, really hit it off with, got along with and stuff, but they did not want to bring it to the next level. And some girls, they brought it to the next level, but then we discovered that, you know what, we're not really meant for each other. It's not a great mix. So it's kind of a waste of time. And unfortunately, in my life, I've wasted more time than I would like to admit it to. I don't know about you folks. And basically, I wasn't looking for necessarily a certain type or a certain whatever. I just was always looking for somebody I got along with. And I'm easy to get along. Maybe that's one of the issues. Initially, I'm easy to get along with. It's just that you need to have, certain interests. And if you like emotional movies and horror movies and comedy, you know, I'll watch one, I'll watch two, but, you know, I put in the effort. It's not really my cup of tea. Then if you have to do the same thing when I'm watching fantasy or sci-fi, then obviously at some point we're not going to get along. If you like to go bowling and I like to go and play pool, okay, we're getting out, we're doing stuff. But if you're not really enjoying pool and I'm not really enjoying bowling, then it's, you know, I don't mind trying new stuff. I did a lot of that. I tried a lot of things, pinball machines and arcades. And growing up, we had a bunch of new things to try. And I found out that the simpler things in life is what I enjoy the most. Moving to the city, and moving around, I started rock climbing and getting back to nature. And I fell down and I'm paying for it nowadays. But also riding a motorcycle gets you to see a lot of scenery, a lot of nature. And you really, because you're always on the edge looking all around you, trying to be as safe as possible. You see a lot of scenery, you see a lot of idiocies from other drivers, but you're always alive because you kind of have to be in the moment. You can't be on a motorcycle and be elsewhere in your mind and in your brain. You can't be doing your math homework on a bike. You have to be paying attention and living in the moment. And that's why people call it freedom. That's why people say, I feel alive, because you kind of have no choice. I guess I've never flown a plane, but I'm guessing it's pretty much the same thing where you're flying up in the air. Well, there is this thing called the autopilot, but I wouldn't trust it. Yes, on long flights and whatnot, but I mean, you kind of have to pay attention because if something goes wrong with the plane, it's not something that you can park on a cloud. You kind of have to deal with whatever comes up right then and there. So there's certain things that you do in life that you have to be there. Even rock climbing. You have to be in the moment to pay attention because it goes so quickly. I was just really unlucky, and that happens too. I mean, even in motorcycles, I've stopped riding already, but I used to ride with a couple of people, and every year somebody I know or somebody I rode with knows somebody that, had an accident. Not all of them are fatal, but it just so happens this year one of the good riders did pass away. He was going down a straight line all by himself, heading back home after riding with the buddies, and a driver did a left-hand turn and did not see him coming and cut him off at the last moment. And yeah, not fun things, not fun things to think about. And I'm just at that age where, wow, 50, eh? What's gonna happen now on everything? Am I too old to be doing YouTube? Are there no 50-year-olds on YouTube? Have they resorted to leaving the internet because it is so toxic? I mean, I've been playing games and, strangely enough, I need an 18 rating if I am to swear and stuff. And if I put it for, minors, then I am not allowed to curse. But then I play these games, and all that the kids do is curse and swear and call me names and do really gross things nonstop. They do not have the vocabulary to talk about their feelings. They don't have the it's one thing to talk about your feelings. Nobody has the vocabulary to actually be saying anything. Even in TV shows, other than saying, well, it makes me feel mad, it makes me feel sad, they cannot get into the topic to express what's actually going on. She used to make me happy, now she makes me sad. Oh, are you happy that you spoke about it? I thought she treated me as an equal. I thought he treated me as an equal. You know what? I discovered in life that nobody's equal. In a sense that we are all individuals. We all have our good sides and bad sides. We all have stuff that we are good at and stuff that we are bad at, and we complement each other. So, in a way, yes, we are all equals, but then we are all humans in the sense that, yes, in that way we are all equals, but don't expect that everybody is going to be good at everything. It's like, okay, I'll give you an example. Women are really bad at judging, at being judges. They don't want to feel like they're the mommy and giving a chance to all of their, sons and whatnot. So every time a man comes into court, he already lost if it's a woman judge. If it's a girl who acts like a tramp, well, then she's going to be guilty. But if it's a good girl, telling all the good lies and saying how she's a businesswoman and this and that, then the judge, boom, acquits. Even though the tramp got accused of something wrong and the other one did actually fraud a bunch of people, and even though 90% of the men did not do what they did, the female judge doesn't really listen to the story. They look at the individual and they judge the individual. They don't judge the actual act. What are, the women are going to pay attention to what you're wearing. Are you a good fit for society? Are you not a good fit for society? So that's why female judges are really bad at their jobs. And they want to outdo the man and stuff. So obviously, 90, unless you're a successful businesswoman, women judges will, convict and get a lot more convictions than a man. A man would actually listen to the story, try to understand what was going on, and kind of give you a chance, an opening. And if you take it, then okay. If not, then, you know. Also, if you're a good liar, then, you will get off the hook. So, unfortunately, in both cases, honesty doesn't always pay off. Because one thing I've discovered in my life is that people don't like honesty. They don't like the truth. The truth is scary and it's problematic. So, therefore, but, job for job, and I might be called toxic, but women judges don't make good judges. They do make good doctors, though. I'm not even, okay, outside the judges, prosecutors, and defenders, I'm still borderline on that issue. You do see some women that do put in the effort, do put in the work, and you do see some that really don't. They don't, they don't care. They're just in it for the paycheck. And I would say it's more than 50% that are just in it for the paycheck and don't really do everything they can to prove that their client is innocent. Let's just put it at that. But there are other fields that they're really good at. Like I said, doctors, one of them, dentists are another one. There's a lot of professions that they can do. Real estate and salespersons and a lot of jobs. But, it's not everybody that's good at their jobs. For a long time, Bob, what is his name? Igor, whatever. Let's call him Igor. Head of the CEO of Disney. Disney was printing money and he got the accolades for it. When COVID and the lockdowns came out, okay, I am taking a break from everything. Then he comes back and he's really doing a crappy job. So I think he was always doing a crappy job. Okay, he convinced George Lucas to sell some things to him and Marvel and all these. But he was the head of this big corporation and, you know, made a lot of bad decisions that today his only choice is to be bought. Disney needs to be bought out. in order for somebody to buy it, kick everybody out, and start from scratch. Having said that, they're going to lose copyrights to their mascot, which is Mickey Mouse. You know, if I was Disney, I would concentrate on keeping Mickey, because I still think that, yes, Marvel can bring in money. Yes, Star Wars can bring them money. Yes, Indiana Jones can bring them money. Not currently. They need to shelve all of these for a while. Maybe make one movie. Make a Star Wars movie in 2 years. 2 years after that, make a Marvel movie. 2 years after that, make a Star Wars movie. So that you have Star Wars every 4 years. And you have Marvels every 4 years. But in between, you can have Mickey Mouse that drives everything. The core values of Disney, which is kids, entertainment, family values. And sometimes friends can be more of a family than your actual family. And, through Mickey Mouse, you can explore all of these stories and make them new again. Mickey Mouse had a pet, so you can show that mice can get along with dogs. You can show that mice may or may not get along with cats, can outsmart cats. But, in the end, after, chasing one another, you end up as being best buddies. So I think if you want to save Disney, you shelve all these other big things that you thought were going to print you money, and they print you money for a while. But don't forget on your core existence and fall back on it when times are rough, and currently the times are rough for Disney. Unfortunately, it's already a little bit too late to go to the courts and try to extend or get another extension to the copyrights to Mickey Mouse. So that is a total and complete failure of Disney. And if I was Apple, I would not be interested in buying Disney. I would just be buying off Marvel. I would be buying off Star Wars. I would be buying off Indiana Jones. Not sure Indiana Jones is worth anything nowadays. Because, to be honest, you do have things like Lara Croft. So, Indiana Jones has some competition. And if I was Apple, I would go after the rights of Battletech MechWarrior. Because that is truly the Star Wars. That is the Game of Thrones, Star Wars thingy, sci-fi. That everybody kind of desires, wants, and don't know that it exists. They're trying to turn Foundation into something like it. They were trying to turn The Expanse into it. Both are great sci-fis, but neither one of them are the Game of Thrones. Thrones is like you have this center of power with all these regions with their own kings, queens, princesses, and dukes, and all of this stuff, emperors, and the throne often changes depending on alliances made, and so have a really good look at Battletech. So hopefully you've enjoyed the show today. I am winding it down. Look at my other videos. Comment down below. Do you think that at 50 I no longer have an audience? People over 50 are not on YouTube. People in their 40s coming into their 50s, looking ahead. Is there a voice for us? Is there an ear for us? Is there a public? Is there a market? Let me know in the comments, and please give a like to my videos, subscribe to my channels, give me a follow, and I will see you in the next one, which is pretty soon. Okay then. Bye-bye.